can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretans too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look where the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention.
I want a woman.
DJ Shrimpy presents his annual Summer Jam on Saturday, July 25th at the Woodbine in Brooklyn. Music by Super Terry, Busta, Lady Supreme, DJ Quinn, and DJ Shrimpy. Tickets $30. Dinner included. For tickets, inbox DJ Shrimpy on Messenger or call or text 631-805-7923.
I want a woman to jam.
Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
The national player. Who's that one? Low lights and hungry belly.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear in the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana.
You know, everybody is fed up. Every single Guyanese. The only folks who are not fed up are those who are basically walking around like ostriches, you know, their heads up, till down in the sand, ignoring the plight, ignoring the corruption. They're finding excuses for all manner of things. But I'll tell you guys this. I don't know how many of you grew up under Burnham government. How many of you are old folks here? And I really do mean old folks over 40 and up. You guys are old, so don't be fooled. How many of you guys have experienced this sort of corruption that you're seeing right now under the PPP regime? It is corruption galore. Corruption, every single thing these people thieving in the PPP regime. Every single thing they're thieving. The thieving bucket, the thieving, every single thing that, anything they get their hand on and they could thief, they're thieving. A pack of vagabonds, a pack of crooks. And if you guys didn't get the message yet, that they got into government, not to enrich you guys or the nation or to give you jobs or anything. It's basically to thief. That is what they got in for. They got into government to kick down your doors, economically speaking, that is. Make nothing available for you guys, not even your kids. And so when they're done doing what they're doing, then they run out and they say, oh, they're giving cash grants. So they try to brainwash the nation with cash grant. And then they're going to start give a little bit of, drainage work. Because local government elections around the corner. So they're going to go into the communities. They're going to try to reach with farmers, meet up with farmers and all sort of things. I hope those guys in PNC APNU would go right out into all those communities, Blackbush, Polda, Manchester, Linden, Ituni, Kokwani, Bartica. Go out there, go out in your numbers. Those of you who are members of the PNCR. Whether you have a card, because they got a lot of people say that they're PNC member and they never hold a party card in their life yet. But I'm talking about party members. Talk to your leaders of the party. Talk to your MPs. And if you got to pay their passage to go out into communities, some of them are doing it as well. But you can't sit back and expect all the work to be done and don't make a little donation. And when you make your donation, just forget about it. You donate something, just forget about it. You don't want 10 years from now, you say, oh, you used to bankroll the PNC. Sorry, I have a mischievous laugh, right? You just give and you just walk away and you help. You give and you help. You're not giving $1 to expect $1 billion in contract or 83,000 acres of land and land here, land there, land here, land there. It reminds me of a friend that I had in school by the name of Landis, right? Good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchap. We're going to rock and roll for just about an hour. And so local government elections are around the corner, and the PBP has already started their plans, which is basically to trick you guys. Do not be tricked, because look, let's start off with Jack Deal. Right off the bat, let's start off with her. I'm sorry, I oftentimes say her or him. It doesn't really matter. But let's start off with Jack Deal. Jack Deal got into government as a poor man. He couldn't even afford a Bokta. Or the other one. He couldn't even afford a what you call it, a singlet or whatever you call that stuff. He couldn't afford anything. He used to live in a shop front in Kitty. I'm not kidding you guys. Jack Deal used to live in a shop front. He came from a tiny house at Unity Village. Now, I'm not knocking tiny houses and so forth. This has nothing to do with his parents or what they could afford or whatever. They hardly afford anything. Maybe a castnet and a seine, right? But this is not attacking them. But when he left that house and he went to town, probably to live home with Steve or something, he left. And he went at a Kitty in a rat-infested shop front. He was renting a shop front. Forget about activities within, and it's none of our business, but we was back enough. Oh, okay. And so the point that I'm making is, they didn't come from any royalty. They didn't come from no rich family. They had nothing. Jack Deal was basically a beggar. But look at where they are today. Compared to where these Pakus are and where citizens are in that country. So the point is, they got into office to enrich themselves, friends, and families. That's what they do. And so the natural resources, they rape the nation of that. Every single thing. Look at how they live. They're living right now. Look at what they own. Compare that with their salaries, and you'll get the message where I'm coming from, right? You get every single thing they want. Them a tech, them a thief. And these guys, you should see their bank accounts. Now, one of them, Irfan, telling you guys that they always with this excuse. They took a loan. They can't just, I don't know why they don't just come out and say they thief. Come out and say they thief the taxpayers' money and apologize to the taxpayers of the country. Everybody thieving, tax evasion, all sort of things, smuggling this. It's like a nest of these vagabonds. And when they give you land, if they give Leslie Hamilton a piece of land, They're going to give less than a little piece like this, a little piece of land, and you got to choke up a little house. And then in that little house, you got to get a little space, a little yard space. And they want you to feel proud. Then when they give you that little piece of land, they're going to call you. You got to take pictures. I have seen some young women stand up in front of grass front, like if, race course or gymkhana, and they stand up like this with this paper there, man. They stand up like this and bush, if you see bush and swamp, and they put lot 44. Lot 44. I am so proud. I just got my house lot. Now, I'm not knocking at those individuals. They're happy, of course, and rightly so. But what they don't know is that they're being used by a corrupt PPP regime. Now, when you're giving people something, you give them a nice piece of land. People deserve a big plot of land. Take a look at what Tantimorol has. Where's our operator, Gavin? Take a look at what Tantimorol has. Look at this big plot of land. Irfan Ali. This is what Irfan Ali owns. Complement of taxpayers. Do you think Irfan actually took out a loan? Now, let me give. For those of you who like drink rum and get drunk and bacchanal afterwards with up and down and them, if you know what I mean, right? Call them up. Call this one up. This one here constantly in my inbox. I don't know what she wants. Y'all talk to this one here when some Kobe sing or whatever, whoever she is. Constantly, that's why like mental illness is a problem. Now, I'm not knocking those who genuinely have some concerns, but this cathedral goer, I don't know who she is. I don't know. Somebody said he's a money launderer. I don't know. I just don't know. But somebody tag him and tell him to listen to the program, and he's going to learn something tonight. Because these are the types of pakus who want to defend Irfan Ali and those other vagabonds in the PPP regime. Now let's get back to this here. Look at this. Compliments of taxpayers of Guyana. Look at the yard space. Look at the pool house. Look at all the AC bedrooms, bottom flat, hideaway, lush rooms. You name it. Why can't Guyanese, all Guyanese, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of whether they're PPP, PNC, APNU or HUNU or NUHU, it doesn't matter. Why can't Guyanese live this sort of luxurious lifestyle, just like Irfan Ali, just like his family, just like Jagdeo boys them and men them are living happily together. But they squeeze people up in a little small shack, a little small area, and they want people to accept that. And they want people to believe that they're doing a favor. Oh, what a favor. A 50 by 60, a 40 by 60 house lot. With no drainage, no nothing, no lights, no water. And they call themselves what? A government that cares? Care about who? Care about what? They just do not care. But yet some of their supporters are turning a blind eye to the rampant and blatant corruption under the PPP regime. We see them. They're out there defending. Look, this other Paku, this drunkard. Gavin Prasad, drunkard. And all they want to do is abuse. They can't even spell properly. They can't even read properly. And all they want to do is abuse. When you expose corruption in the PPP regime, these vagabonds are the ones who jump out. They jump out of their little nest, their little basement or attic, or wherever they live. and they want views back. They come in like Up and Down. And if Up and Down is watching, tell Up and Down we say hi. But they have a lot of Up and Downs. So this one come into people's inbox like Up and Down, right? And when I say Up and Down, y'all know what I mean, right? Like Up and Down. Come right into your inbox and views. These are the individuals that are the reason why Guyana is the way it is. It is apparent, it is clear that they love the corruption. And since they love the corruption, maybe they themselves are as corrupt as the very people they're defending. These are shameless vagabonds, shameless creatures. God in heaven knows what they do. Some of them are in the business. Who knows whether it's legal or illegal? Nobody knows yet, but we are going to find out very soon, very shortly. Now let's head back to Farmer Ali. And if he's watching tonight, good night. Good night, Farmer Ali. Good night. Now, over 48 hours ago, Farmer Ali said that he has text messages sent to him by the sanctioned Mohammeds. Now, this is what I'm going to ask. This is what I'm going to ask you guys. If that is the case, and Irfan Ali is claiming that, not that, that he's claiming that the Mohammeds attempted to blackmail. If that is true, then it's heading to maybe over 72 hours now. Not a word, no evidence, because he did say that he's going to reveal the evidence. That his one-time buddy, maybe business partner, Azruddin, who gave them 20 million and he got back billions in contracts and thousands upon thousands of acres of land and so forth, because those were sweetheart deals then. It wasn't corruption then. Anyway, sorry about that. And so Irfan Ali, I'm calling out Irfan Ali tonight to reveal the evidence that he has, that he claims he has in his possession, where the Mohammeds them attempted to blackmail him. Now, that is a crime. If that is so, then turn the evidence over to the police and let an independent investigation begins. Because I say independent, because even if you turn whatever evidence over to the Guyana Police Force, it is not going to go anywhere. Because just like the Paper Shorts murder at the Palm Court that they covered up, they will cover up any piece of evidence or anything given to them by Irfan Ali, Jack Dale, or other vagabonds in the PPP regime, or some corrupt businessman in Guyana. That is what's happening, and that's reality. And so this afternoon, I'm sitting and I'm thinking, and I'm like, who is Irfan Ali really trying to fool? Not majority of you guys who are watching this show. Not you guys for sure, because you guys are way ahead of Irfan Ali. Thank God you have not attended the University of IFLAT. Neither have you attended the university that the so-called Minister of Agriculture attended. What's the word he used? Declose. As opposed to disclose. The man said declose. I don't know what close is he talking about, shut pans or whatever. But he, the Minister of Agriculture, Mustafa, Zulfikar Mustafa, the man from Bloomfield Village on the quarantine, that is also neglecting the entire area, including the people of his village, Bloomfield, on the quarantine. So the Minister of Agriculture, suddenly now he feels that he can speak out and he can say for sure that Irfan Ali disclosed all of his assets. We don't want to hear somebody like Mustafa, who has been embroiled in serious allegations of corruption, whether it is eggs, whether it is whatever at the GMC. Is that still you call it the Guyana Marketing Corporation and so forth and so on. Corruption upon corruption, where billions of dollars of contracts have been given to friends and cronies. And the Minister of Agriculture is another one. When you look at where these guys were in terms of wealth before he became a minister, compare then to where he is now and what he owns now, then you will understand where I'm coming from. And the perception that these vagabonds are the most corrupt set of government officials in the history of Guyana. And we cannot run away from that. These people thief in dogs, they thief in sheep, they thief in goats. Well, Rohi came from an era where he stole, according to people at Metropole, bicycle. All these things are happening in Guyana. And people seem to be turning a blind eye. And when I say people, I mean the international community. And it appears that people are just so interested in deals, whatever business deals that they have, and they are not concerned about democracy in Guyana. They're not concerned about transparency. They're not concerned about discrimination, racial discrimination, political discrimination, economic discrimination. They're not concerned about that unless they can get a deal. And that is wrong. That is so wrong. Nobody thus far that we're hearing, the Private Sector Commission, they're not going to come out to condemn these serious allegations of corruption because they're all partners. They all jump in the same bed and whine for the same money, whine for the same deals, whine for the same land. And they get hundreds of acres of lands. So if you guys are only focusing and think that 100, it's a distraction, by the way, 100, y'all only focusing on 150 acres. 150 acres is nothing, absolutely nothing, compared to what it is believed that Jagdeo owns in Guyana. Find out what Mustafa owns. Find out what, well, Mark Phillips, as long as he get little sauce, eat little sauce, and he get a little fancy little suit when he go Greenacre Mall in Queens, and he move wrong, like Stupidity Bill, not one sense, not one understanding he has. And so that is why they placed him there in the first place as a Paku. Because he's probably renting somebody bottom house. That's how stupid he is. He's worse than Cursinile Man Sam Hines, worse than Sam Hines. And so, well, speaking of Mark Phillips, and let me say something. I'm watching something here now, and I'm looking way beyond. I'm looking at the next general elections. When some of y'all think it might be Priya, it might be this, but it's going to, in my opinion, it's going to be a short man. Let me see if y'all reading between the lines. It's going to be a short man. Who's the shortest man they have in the PPP? And let's show them that we already peeped the cards. It's going to be a short man. Who is the shortest guy they have in the PPP right now? I'm going to look at some of your comments if you are reading between the lines. The shortest man they have in the PPP right now. So don't think for a moment that Anil is going to be any presidential candidate with the PPP. No, not Anil. Not Anil. You guys got it. You guys got it. And now, take a look at how prominent Ashni Singh is being featured these days. Who you think knows where all the money, all the billions of dollars that Jagdeo has? Who you think knows where these monies are and which bank and all these things? It's not Anil. Ashni Singh is the man. He knows a heck of a lot. And Jagdeo trusts Ashni Singh just like he trusts Kwame. Right? But of course, the kind of trust that he has for Kwame is different than Ashni Singh. So if you take a look at Ashni now, Ashni knows where the billions are and all these sort of things. He's the money man. He knows, pull a string there, pull this here, money there, money there, money there. And so after my observations, I'm like, you know, they're pushing Ashni out there. They're pushing the shark man out there because Jagdeo wants to ensure that the next time around, he has another man on top. Politically speaking, that is, right? Whatever he has in private, that's his prerogative. It's none of our business here, right? And so the opposition now, some of them are led to believe that it's Priya, and it's not going to be no Priya. Shartman, take a look at Shartman. Ashni Singh. Jagdeo doesn't trust Anil. He doesn't want Anil there. He doesn't trust Anil. He believes that he can take a long string and push it behind Ashni and pulley and pulley and pulley and pulley. He thought he could have been able to do that with this fat boy, Irfan Ali. But Irfan Ali done gone astray. He cannot control Irfan Ali any longer. Just like Janet Jagan couldn't control him. He cannot control Irfan Ali right now. Cannot. And so he starts to lean towards another man. And that other man, in my opinion, mind you, is Dr. Ashni Singh. He is that other man. Watch out for that sharp man. Watch out for him. Jagdeo wants to put him as the presidential candidate because it appears as though GOAT really bite Anil. And Anil doesn't stand a chance there. Keep an eye out for Ashni Singh. You will see Ashni being featured more than the Paku, who is parading as the Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Opposition, get y'all act together. Lots and lots of distractions. Every day's distractions. Every single day. It is as though it's a conspiracy, a diabolical conspiracy to distract the nation, to distract you guys, while they fight amongst each other, while former friends and everything fighting each other, distraction. And whilst you're watching this way, they're thieving billions this way, and whilst they're thieving, you're running out of time. And then when you're about to run out of time, politically speaking, you got to play catch up. It is a game that is being played. We saw that game during the course of elections. Money hey, money day, money hey, money day. And then when elections done, elections are over, the sort of love, the sort of caring attitude that they pretend that they have, it's no longer there. So they might just splash in, take a picture, talk a little bit, walk a little bit with Nakni, and look wrong. Look wrong there. And then you get Irfan Ali, they go now into communities. And that's what's going on. And that's what I'm saying in my thing. You guys know the 12 MPs, they got to go out and do more. Local government elections around the corner. Y'all got to wake up those 12 MPs in the opposition. Wake them up. Wake them up. Let's not just see 1, 2, or 3. We need to see all of those 12 MPs. How many of you in the audience right now could name all 12 MPs for APNU? All 12 MPs. Amanze is not part of that 12. She get 1 seat. Poor B-Man and them ain't going and sitting there because they don't want B-Man. B-Man from VPAC, they get knocked out. Knock them out. And these are the same people talk about democracy. Knock out all them 3 parties come together. And you knock out one. You say you don't want the one there. And poor B-Man now. B-Man going on at a rate by. Make joke. Yeah, best give B-Man. Tell a man's the best give B-Man his seat. Oh, shucks. Apostle, I didn't even know if Apostle can get the chance to sit down there. Today's another story. Good night again. My name is Mark Benja. Welcome to Straight Up. What time is it? 41 minutes after 9 o'clock. I don't know what time it is where you are, but let us head back over to, let's head back. I wanted, somebody called me because I wanted to bring this up. This man is still languishing in prison. Howard Eastman, still languishing. He's still there for little marijuana. The jail he. But the big drug lords and the big money launderers and the big gold smugglers and tax evaders and all these vagabonds in Guyana, they don't spend a day. In fact, the police force, senior members of the Guyana police force, protect those scoundrels in Guyana. Those drug lords, those money launderers, and so forth. The PPP, and those corrupt senior members of the Guyana police force, that's who they protect. You think they get time to protect and serve the people? Why do you think this little boy has staff? He was killed. Now, the police didn't run him down and shoot him and kill him, but something in law that's called contributory negligence. If the police had conducted their job in a professional manner, then quite possibly that little boy would not have died, would not have crashed his motorcycle and died. But because of the recklessness, in my opinion, of the Guyana police force, he was buried today. I saw some live feeds and so forth and so on up on the quarantine. Condolences again to his family. Many of you recall, after you saw this commander went down there skinny teeth with the family and promised justice. And then the minister of Tint, she came out as well and she made a statement. Have you guys heard anything? Anything at all? You guys can whisper to me right now. Whisper to me right now. Have you guys heard anything at all about the death of that little boy? Anything from this minister? Anything? Did she whistle? Did she sing? Did she say a word? Did any of them attend the funeral of that little boy? Did the commander attend the funeral of that little boy under quarantine? Did the minister, this minister of Tint, did she attend the funeral? Did any government official attend the funeral? Did they pay for the funeral? Did they give little money for little wake, little biscuit, little coffee, as they say in Guyana, coffee tea? Did they? No. Nothing at all. That is because they rushed there in order to pacify the situation, try to probably bribe the family, to quiet them down, promise them justice. But the question is tonight, where is the justice? what's the situation with the police or policemen who were involved in that incident, which caused the death of that young man? Are they under close arrest? Is there an investigation that's going on? What is the situation with OPR, the Office of Professional Responsibility? Can someone out there ask these questions? Just like for months we've been asking you guys to ask Irfan Ali whether he owned this land, this ranch out there. Several months we've been asking and saying to the reporters and saying to the opposition folks, ask Irfan Ali whether he owns this ranch, this farmland on the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. Well, now it's big news, right? It's big news now. Big news. Some of them even knew about this whole transaction, because this is not an overnight transaction, you know. That's another story, right? So now I want to get back to this situation. Can some reporter or reporter or journalist in Guyana or some member of the opposition 12, can the nation, can the people get an update on this quote-unquote investigations? Ask the Minister of Tint, aka Minister of Home Affairs, ask her about this. What's the situation with the investigations? Ask the Commissioner of Police. Ask him. Ask Shartman Hicken. What's the status of the investigation? Ask the crime chief, Blanum. What's the status with the investigation? Or is it just done with? It's dead. It's finished with. No justice for the family. Nothing at all. Like so many others. What about the head of OPR, the Office of Professional Responsibility? Now, if these agencies that are supposed to protect and serve, that are supposed to be there to ensure that there is justice, if they're not offering any justice at all, then you know what has to happen. There should be private criminal charges instituted against the officer or the officers who were at the scene at that time. Private criminal charges should be filed, because here's a young man, lost his life, and that's it. There's no justice from the police force, because it is pretty obvious by now, of course, duh, as the young people would say, duh, what y'all expect? And so instead of the police investigating, from reports that we have received, is that they are intimidating individuals in the community. And that can only be because they want to cover up the police officer or policeman or policemen or maybe women who were on the scene at that time. It's a cover-up story done. They're waiting for the next victim. Every single week or month, it is something. And so the question is, what next? Who is next? Whose little child they will murder? Who is next? And it jumps from one to the next, and the same tune they keep singing. No stone. The man that is known as the no stone man. No stone will be left unturned. No stone. No stone, Irfan Ali. We have heard the no stone during the Henry Boyce murder. And of course, you heard the two guys got sentenced, life sentence today. But there's something about that. I think maybe if those guys were involved, if they were involved, the evidence suggests that. But sometimes, evidence is produced in Guyana, and then it turns out the appellate court and so forth and so on, we get to hear otherwise. But let us say, for argument's sake, because they have been found guilty and they have been sentenced life in prison, but they proclaim they're innocent. They said, no, they set up, did this, did that, did that. But we know how the Guyana police force operate. It could be that there's a bigger author, a bigger criminal who is connected to the PPP regime, and so they didn't want to bring that big criminal to justice. And so those two banners that got sentenced today, life imprisonment, could possibly be the fall guys for a bigger person who is actually the real murderer. So lots of things happening, right? And so I make this point to say that during the Henry Boy's funeral, Irfan Ali said no stone will be left unturned. No stone. I don't know if he's talking about this one, he will took out the gallstone, or I don't know what stone he meant when he said no stone will be left unturned. Every single time there is a killing and people are looking for justice, it is always the same tune. Over and over, as that soca said. All of you in Guyana and all Guyanese outside of Guyana are basically fed up of the same old tune that is on repeat button, are tired of the same thing over and over. Are tired of the same thing over and over. Are tired of what? The same thing over and over. Over and over. That's just what it is. And so there is no justice. None whatsoever. Absolutely none. N-O-N-E, none. N-O-N, I repeat, N-O-N-E, none. It is sad. It is a shame. It is a disgrace. Because even these folks, the parents and loved ones of this little girl who was murdered, Irfan Ali murdered at that hotel. And Irfan Ali doesn't care, he doesn't care about anybody. If he did, he would not have been standing there next to a guy who was said to be a suspect. He was questioned. The owner of the hotel, Irfan Ali, recently met with him in Canada. Hug up, check out picture. You guys can see, this is not propaganda. Does this look as though this is someone who really cares and who wants justice? No. And so every single time, it's the same old tune, the same dancing tune, the same thing, over and over. It got to the point where we are all of us, and I really do mean all of us, are just tired of the same thing. Tired of the same thing over and over. Tired of the same thing over and over. So when they come to you with these crocodile tears, crying all the way, they care. That just like what they did to Adriana Young's family, their relatives, well, some of them, after the funeral and everything, some of them end up embracing the PPP. Some of them run way all over. No disrespect to the parents. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about others. Run way there, run way there, run back there, run back there. And to this day, Irfan Ali didn't even give them justice. Some of them even run up and embrace the PPP. Embrace Irfan. But this is the same Irfan that was on the scene and attempted, he want whisper to the father of Adriana Young. But I'm glad that he stood strong, the father of Adriana Young, the mother of Adriana Young, and they said no. In fact, he was even called a scrape by this scrape. So aren't we all just tired of the same thing? Let's just sing along, guys. We tired of the same thing.
Nah. Nah. I'm fed up of the same thing over and over. Fed up of the same thing over and over. Fed up of the same thing
over and over. It's the same thing. Every single time it's the same thing. Every single day it's the same thing. Who get piece of land there, who ain't get land there, who get land. And the bulk of the people in the country are punishing. Nobody is talking about job creation. Nobody is talking about improving the welfare of ordinary citizens. Nobody's talking. Well, of course, you know, I am for the 12, but we need to see more of the 12, and outside of the 12, we need to see more. Every day is a distraction. And sometimes the distraction is a drone distraction. And because of these fancy things, y'all become like wow, in a state of shock. Like, never see me. Wow. We never knew that Irfan had a land there. Come on, guys. You never knew that? And we've been talking about that, and others have been talking about that for a while, and you never knew that? You never knew that Irfan and these guys took most of the black belly sheep. Most of the black belly sheep for themselves, their friends, their favorites. That is what they do. So if they got 600 blackberry sheep sent to Guyana, they got the bulk of it. Their friends and families, they got the bulk of it. And then they're going to go maybe in Manripo, and they're going to give one black belly sheep, one, to some Dabbit or some Pua or some Mami or some Didi or Chachi or Chacha in Manripo. They're going to give one. And I don't know how that one black belly sheep going to reproduce. You know, I don't know how, unless if they put Kwame on one of the male black belly sheep and end up with a sweep. But on a serious note, though, when it comes to these people and their silliness and their dotish politics, we've got to sing along and say we are tired of the same thing. So turn to your neighbor and say, we are tired of the same thing over and over. Every day is the distraction. And you would believe that these things are new, never heard about it. Oh my gosh, 150 acres of land? You've got to be kidding me. That is what you call investigative work. Hey, aren't we all just tired of the same thing over and
Nah. I'm fed up of the same thing over and over. Fed up of the same thing over and over. Fed up of the same thing over and over. Fed up of the same thing over and over. Over and over. Over and over.
Over and over. Over and over. Over and over. Every day. Tomorrow, look out for something else. The distraction is there. The political distraction. Y'all got that distraction during the elections, before the elections. People run into y'all community, buy out some of y'all people them with little votes money 5,000, 20,000, 25,000, and all sorts of things. Y'all are going to allow people to brainwash y'all like that this time around? I hope not. I hope not. What else we can talk? Let me check some of your comments quickly before we run out of here. You know, they took away this land, this woman's business, into farming and all. Look how they treated this lady. Look how they treated her. Nobody, some of the people who bawling out injustice now on persecution and corruption, they were part and parcel of this thing here. They were quiet then. They may say nothing because it was sweet then. Because they all were part and parcel taking away people's land, bulldozing people's land, kicking them off the land, and so forth and so on. And so when I look at some of these hypocrites who now howling out about justice and thief and all, can give me a goddamn break. Sometimes I just feel like when I see some of them talk, right? Because they weren't there, they didn't give a rat's arse about anything, nothing at all. Anyways, you guys got that message loud and clear. Oh, before we go, what happened? These guys are no longer wanted. The Guyana Police Force didn't reissue no wanted bulletin for them. Allegations they wanted for questioning over killing of a Cuban national. That done gone down the drain too. That done gone down the drain. Y'all know what I mean. It done gone down the drain. Quality of water. All these things. Oh, before we go. What's this? Can somebody in the media give an update? Give an update on the Indian nationals? Don't tell me that they just eat out this food here for this man. Because you know when you eat food, you just tell people that you eat food, you eat food, you this and that, right? Can we get an update of these Indian nationals? Are they out of Guyana? Are they back in India? Because we haven't heard anything about the case, you know, the allegations of trafficking in person. We haven't heard anything. It just gone. It just disappeared. Done with. It's done. It's like everything else, just done. It was a big fuss for a couple of days. Lights, camera, action. And then after lights, camera, action, it's...
National player! And the ball from Buxton video. All over! Showtime! Fuss!
Lights, camera, action, showtime. What's the update with these Indian nationals? Anybody get a little money? Look, I give my salary. Send them back to India. How many of them have gone back to India? I don't know, man. An update. Yeah. What's happening with the farmer? Is he back? Is he back to teach people agriculture? I could bet my last 50 cents. Where is it? That this guy can't even spell agriculture. He can't even spell agriculture. A-G-R-E-E, agree. Call. K-U. Anyways, Mustafa and them, ask them how to spell. Ask them to disclose these things. Let them disclose. Not disclose, you know. Let them disclose. I don't know. Guyana's gone to the dogs. Guyana is being ruined. Guyana is being run by some pacus, some kleptomaniacs. That's what they're about. Nothing else. And then they give you guys crumbs. They're going to go wrong and they're going to say they're giving farmers cash grants now. And just check what they're going to do. They're going to give them manure. They're going to all sorts of things now. They're going to try to do because he wants to show now that he is Farmer Napi. He's the #1 farmer they got in Guyana. Give me a goddamn break, guys. Anyways, I'm out of here. Meanwhile, you ain't hearing nothing about these guns no more. Everything just, what was the media doing? Opposition guys. Why are certain things more important? 150 acres of land more important than dozens of guns. If you are going to hold people accountable, then you have to be consistent. You can't just be fixated on 150-acre land alone and ignore the injustices and these serious allegations with dozens of AK-47s and all these other things, rifles. Something isn't adding up. Nobody's calling for justice for the family of this man who was allegedly picked up by members of the Guyana police force. Nobody's calling for justice. It's done with. But the only sort of time that you hear is a back and forth. Irfan get this, Irfan own this, Irfan that. Like some people now wake up and realize that Irfan own this and Irfan own that. They're vagabond.
And you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. And while you try surviving on the public face, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to
DJ Shrimpy presents his annual Summer Jam on Saturday, July 25th at the Woodbine in Brooklyn. Music by Super Terry, Busta, Lady Supreme, DJ Quinn, and DJ Shrimpy. Tickets $30. Dinner included. For tickets, inbox DJ Shrimpy on Messenger or call or text 631-805-7923.
I want a woman to jam.